Leeds International School, Primary 5, First Midterm, English Literature Lesson. The Tasting Game, page number 18. It was too wet to play out, so I decided to teach Ben tasting game. I used to play it with Dad years ago, before Ben was even born. The story is about two brothers. We know one's name is Ben, and we'll see who's the other one. It's easy, I said. You put on a blindfold, then I give you something to taste, and you tell me what it is. Then we swap around. Say, the first one to get 10 right wins. So now they're going to start this game called Tasting Game. We'll see what they're going to do. Ben nodded, but then said, I want chocolate spread first. I'll show you. I laughed. I tied the scarf into place and pushed the spoon into his mouth. Strawberry jam! Ben grinned. Yeah, I said. 1-0. First they tried out strawberry jam. Another go, said Ben. It's my turn now, I said. Unable to see through the scarf, I heard Ben rummaging about in the cupboard. Careful not to spill anything, I said. If there was any mess, I knew who'd get the blame. Now being the big brother, the elder brother, this boy knows that he's the one who'll be blamed if he mess up the kitchen. I am being careful. Whoops! I tore off the blindfold. The floor was covered in sugar. You idiot! I shouted. It was an accident, Ben cried. It always is, I muttered. But that wasn't how Mum and Dad would see it. So, being the eldest one, he knows that he was responsible to take care of Ben and, of course, stop Ben from all the mischievous naughty work. But what happened now? An accident took place and they spilled sugar on the floor. I cleaned everything up as best I could, and the game went on. Cranberry jelly, peanut butter, some raisins, syrup. So, as you can see in the picture, children, cranberry jelly is another sort of a jelly which is made with cranberries, another kind of a berry that we all know like strawberry, and peanut butter is made out of peanut. Now these two young boys are actually going to mess the whole kitchen. We'll see what they would do next. The points built up, the floor grew stickier, but the game was going well. Then I tried Ben with some cheese. I want something else, Ben pouted and wouldn't take the blindfold off. Now, both of them were scoring well in the tasting game, and also, while playing the game, the floor was growing stickier and stickier. Cranberry jellies, then on top of it peanut butter. Likewise, the whole kitchen floor was messed. Now Ben is pouting. Now when we do not like something, we pout and make shapes with our mouth. So Ben wanted something different. Okay then, I said angrily. Younger brothers always have to have their way. Here's something else. I pushed the spoon back in his mouth. Ben didn't react. So what is it? I said. Salt, said Ben quietly. Very quietly he said, salt. He removed the scarf. I don't want to play anymore. So Ben is becoming the typical young brother. He's always want to have the best in the game and be the first, of course. I wasn't surprised. The thing about the tasting game is that you have to trust the other person and I'd broken that trust. To win it back, I had to let Ben give me something horrible. The vinegar was revolting, but could have been worse. Now, the elder brother broke his trust. He gave Ben some salt, and Ben did not like it. And he has broken the trust of his little brother. Now, to win it back, the elder brother has to let the younger brother, Ben, give him something horrible. Then it was Ben's turn again. Come on, I said, holding the spoon to his. Ben had given him vinegar earlier. Now let's see what's Ben going to get. What is it? Ben asked suspiciously. Just open your mouth, I said. But he wouldn't, and as I stared at his tightly pursed lips, I started getting angry again. You like that then, I thought. I flicked the ice cream into the sink and replaced it with mustard. Then I pinched Ben's nose and shoved the spoon into his mouth. So now the big brother is going to do something terrible to his younger brother. He pinched Ben's nose and shoved the spoon into Ben's mouth. This time the effect was instant. That was mean and horrible! He howled and burst into tears. I'd gone too far. I rushed to get him some orange squash. Drink this, I said, and don't cry. Now he's being a little scared because he has broken Ben's trust. And Ben starts crying now. That means he's going to be in trouble. If he didn't stop soon, I knew I'd be in for it. He means that he is going to be in trouble. At that moment, Mom and Dad burst in. They looked at the mess all over the kitchen. They looked at us. What have you been doing? They both shouted. Ben was still sobbing too loudly to speak. Well, Steve, said Dad. Now we got to know the elder brother's name, Steve. Now Dad is questioning Steve, the elder brother, because he is supposed to take care of the little one. And Ben is crying as well. We were playing the tasting game, I explained. Then Mom noticed the pot of mustard on the kitchen unit and they guessed the rest. So now, as soon as she saw the mustard on the kitchen unit, she guessed what has happened to Ben. But why? Said Dad. Why? Because Ben didn't trust me. Because I wanted to see what would happen. Because I wanted to make him cry so that you'd shout at your age like you do with me. So, just like his father trait, act your age means as if he was supposed to act as a grown-up. Steve, I'm waiting. That's that. Dad is a little bit angry now because Ben is crying and Steve has done something terrible. I looked up into his angry face. I hate being the oldest, I screamed and found myself blubbing as loudly as Ben. Just the typical young boy that anyone could be. So Steve burst into tears just as Ben. I expected a smack or, at the very least, one of them to say that I was acting like a baby. What I didn't expect was what actually happened. Dad crouched down, wrapped his arms round both me and Ben, and drew us towards him. Now, Steve is experiencing something that he did not expect his father to do. "My two little monsters," he whispered. The hug said, "Come on," said Mum finally. "Let's have one last round of the tasting game." Ben and I dried our eyes and went into the dining room. Dad tied the blindfolds. A moment later, Mum came in, and I felt a glass being placed against my lips. Banana milkshake had never tasted so good. So, I hope that you all enjoyed this game. Banana milkshake was the last thing that Ben and Steve enjoyed. So, Mum and Dad was not actually rude. They were kind. They understood that the children were playing. Now, we'll discuss some questions from the story. Question number 1. What are the two brothers' names? You have to write down the names of the two brothers. What's the name of the game? Number 3. Name the food items they tasted. Number 4. What was Dad's response? Number 5. What did Mom serve them last? Write down these questions and answer them